So we're doing coordinate geometry, the very basics of coordinate geometry, where you have to plot the points, draw lines, find the midpoint using the graph. Okay. Now, the question over here is that you have to write down the coordinates of point A. You know, this is the Cartesian plane. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. These are the quadrants. The first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. I have to write the coordinates of point A. When we are writing the coordinates of any particular point, the coordinates are written in the form of x, comma, y. The coordinates are written in the form of x, comma, y. So you need to see the point where it intersects the x-axis, and you need to see the point where it intersects the y-axis. So coordinate of point A is intersecting the x-axis at 2. So the x coordinate would be 2. It is intersecting, it is touching the y-axis. So at the y-axis at point 4. So the y coordinate would be 4. So the coordinates of point A is that the x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 4. So 2, 4. Let's see the coordinates of point B. I will write it in the form of x, y, x. Go to the x-axis, -2. So the x coordinate is how much? -2. Y. Y coordinate is -3. So it is -2, -3. Now try this. Pause the video and try it. X coordinate and y coordinate. X is -4. Y is +4. So the coordinates would be -4 +4. For D, X is +4, Y is -3. So the coordinates would be 4, -3. Now you can just pause the video and try to plot the points with coordinate -2, 4, 3, 1, and over here with coordinates 3, -1 and -2, -3. I will wait. Now we have to plot the points with coordinates -2, 4. So -2 will intersect at the x-axis and 4 will intersect at the y-axis. So -2, x-axis, x-axis, x-axis and -2, x-axis and -2. So -2 is over here. Now 4 on the y-axis, it is upwards. 4 on the y-axis. So -2 on the x, 4 on the y, the point would be somewhere over here. So I would name this point as A, and this A would be over here, where it is -2 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis. Point A. Let's look at the next one. I need to plot a point with coordinates 3, 1. Since the coordinates are 3, 1, the x-axis, y-axis, 3 on the x, 1 on the y, 3 on the x, 1 on the y. This would be the coordinates. 3 on the x, 1 on the y. I would name this point as point B. Now you can try the next one. You can pause the video and try the next one. Plot the point with coordinates 3, -1, and -2, -3. 3, -1. 3, -1. A. -2, -3. B. Now over here, we have to write the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. Since I have to write the coordinates of the midpoint of AB without actually solving for it, how do I do that? I want the coordinates of midpoint of line AB. Since I need the coordinates, that means I need the x coordinate and the y coordinate. I hope you are with me. I need the coordinates of midpoint of AB. What I will do is step number 1, from A to B, I will see the gap. I will plot a line which takes me from A to B horizontally. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. B is over here. B is over here. So till here I need to plot the point. Till here. So this would be again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it is 6 units from A to B. Now I will see the point that takes me from A to B downside. A to B horizontally on the x-axis and A to B vertically on the y-axis. From A to B. A to B. But I will do it over here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the point from A to B vertically, horizontally was 6 units and vertically was 6 units. So this is 6 units. Now for the x coordinate, I need to see the midpoint. So the midpoint, half of 6 is 3. So it will be 1, 2, and 3. It will be over here. And half of this is also 3. So it will be 1, 2, and 3. So it will be over here. Half of the horizontal line is 3. Half of the vertical line is 3. So this will be my midpoint. So the midpoint is what? Let's check. Half of the horizontal line is 3. 1, 2, and 3. Half of the vertical line is 3. 1, 2, and 3. So here will be my midpoint. So my midpoint will be over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. So the midpoint is going to be over here. So the coordinates of the midpoint is The x coordinate is -1 and the y coordinate is -1. So the coordinates of the midpoint is -1 and -1. X coordinate -1, y coordinate -1. Let's check over here. Try this first yourself. Pause the video and try it. Now I want to find the coordinates of the midpoint of line CD. Coordinates of the midpoint of line CD. We'll check from C to D, a horizontal line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8. From C to D, a vertical line. 1 and 2. 2. Now midpoint. For the midpoint, come on. Half of 8 would be 4. So it would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Half of D, 2. The vertical is 1. So it will be 1. So this is the midpoint. I'll just take this line above so that it is clear. So this is the midpoint. Now the coordinate of this, let's see, the x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate is 3. So the coordinate of the midpoint is 1, 3. 1, 3. Now you have to write down the equations of the lines. We'll first take this line. This line is crossing the y-axis at 3. So the equation of this line would be y equal to something. What will be the equation? The equation will be y equal to 3. This line is crossing the y-axis at 0, y equal to 0. This line is crossing the y-axis at -4. So the equation of that line will be y equal to -4. This line is crossing the x-axis at 4. So the equation of this line would be x equal to 4. You can pause the video and try this. So I have put the answers. Y-intercept is 2, -2. Equation of this line is y is equal to -2. It is intersecting the x-axis at 2. X is equal to 2. It is intersecting the x-axis at -4. X is equal to -4. This is the equation of the horizontal line and the straight line. Let's do the paper. Write down the coordinates of point A. If you scroll it down to the x-axis, this would be -3. If you scroll it down to the y-axis, it would be 4. So the coordinates of point A written in the form of x, y would be -3, 4. Mark the point B, 3, -2. 3 on the x-axis, -2 on the y-axis. So 3, 2 will be over here. The point B, 3, -2. Plot the point with coordinates 1, 3. Coordinate x coordinate 1, y coordinate 3, x coordinate 1, y coordinate 3. So if I have to plot the point, it will be over here. Label the point as A, x coordinate 1, y coordinate 3. A 1 3. Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of BC. Now I want the midpoint of BC, horizontal line from B to C, 1 2 3 4. Vertical line from B to C, 1 and 2. Now half of 4 is 2. 1 and 2. Half of 2 is 1. So 1 units up. So the midpoint would be here. What is the coordinate of it? On the x-axis, this is at 1. And on the y-axis, it is at 0. On the x-axis, it is at 1. On the y-axis, it is at 0. So the coordinates is 1 0. Let's do the next sum. Plot points with coordinate -2, -3. -2, -3. Label A, -2, -3. Coordinates of midpoint of BC. Horizontal line from B to C, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. 6 units, so half of it would be 3. 1 2 and 3. Draw the vertical line from B to C, 1 2 and 3. Half of it would be 1.5. So 1.5, this is 1 and then 0.5. So it would be here. So this is the midpoint of line BC. Now I will erase this. I've got the midpoint. I have to find the coordinates of the midpoint. What would be the coordinates of the midpoint? To the x-axis. On the y-axis, it is at 1.5. And to the x-axis, it is 0. So the coordinates of it would be 0, 1.5. Next sum. Plot the point with coordinates -1, -4. -1, -4, label as A. Sorry, it is -1, 4. -1, 4 to the y-axis, label A, -1, 4. Now midpoint of BC. Horizontal line from B to C, 1 2 3 4. Half of it is 2. Vertical line from B to C, 1 and 2. Half of this will be 1. So half of this is 1. So the midpoint will be over here. X coordinate of this is 0. And y coordinate, it is intersecting the y-axis at 2. So the midpoint is 0, 2. The next sums, you can do it yourself. Plot the points with 3 minus 1, A, 3 minus 1, midpoint of BC, from B to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So half of it would be 3. Vertical, from B to C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So half of it would be 2.5. 1, 2, and 2.5, it would be here, half. Vertical from B to C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So half of this would be 2. 1 and 2. So the midpoint is here. So the coordinates of it would be, your x coordinate is minus 0.5 and the y coordinate is minus 1. So minus 0.5 minus 1. You can do the next sums yourself. Coordinates of point A for minus 2. On the grid, mark with a cross point 4, 3. Okay, and label it as point B. 4, 3. And on the grid, draw the equation with the line x equal to minus 1. X equal to minus 1, that means it is going to cross the x-axis at minus 1. So this is the grid with the line x is equal to minus 1. Now these sums, you can do it yourself. And if you have any questions, you can come back to me. There is one different question over here. And the question is, ABCD is a square. Mark with a cross the point D so that ABCD is a square. Now I will connect A to B, B to C. Now I want D. The coordinates of point A is what? Minus 2, 3. Coordinates of point B is 1.5, 2. Coordinates of point C is 1, minus 2. I want D so that it is a square. How will I make a square? Let's see. Square. Will this line give me a square? No. Let's try. Square.